Unlike some folks who have to live in the West End, I chose to live in the West End. The reason that I got involved with CAB is because I love my community.
As someone who majored in public health, I see the importance of vaccines. I know for a lot of people, they think public health is just healthcare, but it's actually involving the community.
I think the main thing is education. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. Also, you have a lot of people in this community who don't have a relationship with their healthcare professional.
I'm hoping that we can let people know that, your health comes first and that there are people there who care about you and want to fight for your benefit.
Go to the website. We got tons of information for you.
Vaccines, going to the doctor, these things are for their benefit. And I just want to advocate for them to let them know, hey, I'm always on your side. You have someone that's willing to speak out for you if you feel like you don't have anyone in your corner.
Conversations with Cab would like to get a little bit more intimate and speak with a Louisville native about how vaccinations and health has impacted her personally. So I would like this beautiful lady to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Renee Appling, and I am a mentor and educator for JCPS. I run a program called Just Between Teens, largely in the school district, but I also do some mentoring at Home of the Innocents, church organizations, and just wherever I'm needed.
So do you have any kids? Can you tell us how old you are, kind of get a little bit into your personal dynamic?
Absolutely. 56 years old, mother of 4 adult children, 38, 33, and twins that are 31. I am the grandmommy of 8 beautiful grandbabies.
Oh,
and
that's a lot.
Yes. And so I have a large population of extended children here in the city, Metro Louisville.
Yes, ma'am. So we've been talking a lot about vaccinations, both in the immigrant communities, minority communities. Can you kind of talk about how you feel, give us a very general, how you feel about vaccinations personally?
Okay. Well, one, I'm an open heart surgery survivor. So I had open heart surgery in 2015, November the 9th, 2015. And so when it came to the vaccine, for me, I've only had one that I remember, a flu vaccine, and I remember getting the flu. And as soon as I got the vaccine, I got the flu. But that was okay. As far as other vaccines, when the COVID vaccine came out, I was really reluctant because of my pre-existing condition, of course. And I was the lady that stayed in the house. And if I was out, I was masked, and we had germicide everywhere, in the car, everywhere. And so I was very careful when COVID first hit. And then the closer it came time for me to go back to work, I thought, well, I probably need to get the vaccine because everybody that I knew was getting the vaccine. And I felt a little bit of unspoken pressure to get the vaccine. I wasn't like a real trooper, like I really need to go get it, but I was feeling like I had to go get it. No one in my family had been vaccinated at that point. And so I have a special needs son. He's 33 years old. He still lives at home with me. And I was trying to be the great example. I wanted to show my family and my son that we're going to spearhead this with our family. And so we went, my son and I, at the same time, and we received one of the COVID vaccines at Walgreens. And I was so happy. I took a video of it. I was very proud of that moment. And immediately afterward, we started feeling the side effects of the vaccine. But of course, we've been told this is normal, this is what's supposed to happen, so we just kind of went through it. My son, I felt, started with a cough that wouldn't stop. And he basically was bedbound. He wouldn't get up, he wouldn't move around. This is a very active young man. And finally, I called my doctor, and I told my doctor, because we have the same doctor, and I told my doctor what was going on, and he said, take him to the emergency room. We went to the emergency room, and they admitted him. He had COVID pneumonia at that time, and no one was saying COVID pneumonia at that time. It was just you had pneumonia, but they diagnosed him with COVID pneumonia. He had double pneumonia in both his lungs.
And this was after he received the vaccination?
5 days after.
Okay.
5 days after. So I was dealing with an enormous amount of pressure and guilt because, my son he's verbal. He's not nonverbal. So he was able to say, that shot made me sick, mama. And that broke me because at this point, I don't know if I've done something that could potentially kill my child. And so I was there with him while he stayed in the hospital. And if you have to know my son, he loves food. He is a big foodie. He is such a foodie, but he couldn't even eat a cracker. He was so sick. And I stayed with him. Of course, I also became infected with COVID-19 or the COVID vaccine, whatever they call it, the COVID pneumonia, right? And so after, they got him somewhat stable, and I can't remember if we had actually, I don't think so. I don't believe they did another COVID swab or anything while we were there, but after they got him stable and we were released, we had to then stay indoors for 10 more days. So that was a lot. And no, we did not get the second vaccine.
So being that you're an open heart surgery survivor, which I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
And you have a special needs child. What were your fears about getting vaccinated before you were? And did your provider play any role in your decision to get vaccinated?
So I was absolutely afraid. And the reason why I waited so long to get vaccinated was not because of any pressure from my PCP, none at all. My doctor is very compassionate and my doctor listens to me. I do a lot of advocating for me because of my journey with heart. So I didn't feel pressure from him, but I did feel pressure from friends. I felt pressure from the community, the commercials that were ran all day, all night. You're in the house, you're seeing all this. And I felt like, it felt like you were doing something wrong if you didn't get vaccinated. It was like you were against your friends. You were against your family. You were the problem and not the solution. And I didn't want to be the problem anymore. And that was the whole purpose of us getting vaccinated, because nobody in my family was vaccinated. And I thought, well, we'll show them, come on, you guys, let's do this. This is going to be good for us. And it was awful.
And can you kind of talk to those who are watching about how it made you feel in the community or on the job when people would know or find out whether you were vaccinated or not?
Yeah, well, on Facebook, everybody puts whether they were vaccinated, on your profile picture. And it's common. Of course, I work in the schools, so it's very common for people to share that information. If you're not sharing, you're one of them. You know what I mean? You weren't vaccinated. And so I can't lie and say, oh, yeah, I got vaccinated. And I know I didn't. And then that pressure of you're the problem, because everybody is saying, get vaccinated, do this so we can be healthy, so the whole world can be healthy. And if you don't, you're the problem. I didn't want to be the problem. But clearly there was a lot of pressure from just your community, your family, extended family and friends to get vaccinated.
Yes. And so as we know, it's always your choice to get vaccinated. Healthcare providers shouldn't force it. You have the right to refuse. Is there any advice you would give to those out there who may be hesitant, if they're on the fence of getting vaccinated? Anything you would like to say to anyone?
Well, I think honestly, you have to know your own body. And it's important to know any allergies that you have. It's important to know like I said, pre-existing issues that you may have. These things are very vital. Of course, my son has had bronchitis before, so his lungs are a little delicate. And who knew that the vaccine would bring that on for us? But you have to advocate for yourself. It's very, very important to know what's going on with your body.
And we thank you for sharing that intimate story. You know, it's not easy to open up and tell people how you truly feel, especially if it doesn't always go with the general public, as we can see. So we just would like to conclude. We thank you very much for sharing that information. And we hope that her story can allow you to make the best decision for yourself on becoming vaccinated. And again, if you need any further resources or information on getting vaccinated, please go to www.westlouisvillecab.com. Until next time, thank you.